In the heart of America's founding vision, John Adams articulated a framework that transcends time, a moral algorithm for governance. His assertion that government is instituted for the common good, for the protection, safety, prosperity, and happiness of the people, was more than a philosophical musing. It was a strategic blueprint for ensuring the well-being of every citizen. Yet, as we stand in the 21st century, the question arises, have we strayed from this foundational path? And what consequences have we reaped from doing so? As we delve into the origins of Adams' vision, we see his emphasis on the common good as an enduring principle meant to steer governance with the collective welfare at its core. This founding philosophy was designed to safeguard against the temptations of power, prioritizing protection, safety, prosperity, and happiness over private interests and individual gain. However, over the decades, a shift occurred. The rise of neoliberal policies in the 1980s saw a tangible pivot toward individual profits and corporate interests. The manifestations of this shift are now starkly apparent. Consider the transformation in healthcare. What once was envisioned as a service for public protection has morphed into a profit-driven industry. With 44% of Americans grappling with medical debt, our nation ranks alarmingly low in healthcare accessibility, despite mammoth spending. The echoes of Adams' principles seem distant amidst such profound inequality. Similarly, financial deregulation, exemplified by the dismantling of protective measures like Glass-Steagall, led to the 2008 financial crisis. 10 million foreclosures later, we saw government bailouts that favored bank executives over everyday citizens, a harsh contradiction to the spirit of Adams' moral algorithm. Our labor landscape, once buoyed by strong unions and fair wage agreements, has deteriorated, stripping workers of fundamental protections. While CEO pay skyrockets, real wages for workers have stagnated, and the gig economy erases the lines of job security. Adams' vision, which valued safety and prosperity, now seems overshadowed. In education, another pillar crumbles. As federal funding wanes and student debt soars, upward mobility through education becomes a privilege rather than a public right. With growing educational disparities, the societal stratification Adams sought to avoid becomes more pronounced. The consequences of neglecting this moral algorithm are quantifiable and distressing. Rising social isolation, anxiety, and depression are just the surface symptoms of a society that has prioritized individual gain over collective welfare. Our infrastructure deteriorates, public trust erodes, and political polarization deepens, demonstrating the cost of sidelining the common good. Yet, in the face of these challenges, there remains hope. A return to Adams' vision could steer us onto a sustainable path. Implementing universal healthcare, progressive taxation, and reinforcing labor rights are steps that align with this framework. Moreover, reinforcing environmental protections and investing in public education infrastructure could rebuild the economy's and society's fabric. Beyond policy changes, the crux of renewal lies in cultural shifts, a renaissance in viewing the government as a tool for collective prosperity, civic responsibility, and democratic participation. By embedding the moral algorithm into our collective consciousness, we step towards a society envisioned by Adams, a society built on principles that serve not just the few, but the many. As we stand at a crossroads, the choice is clear. We must decide whether to return to the foundational principles that prioritize the common good, or continue down a path that has consistently failed to protect the nation's welfare. Adams' framework is not merely a historical rhetoric. It is a guidepost, a strategy for survival and renewal that aligns governance with the true essence of democracy. Let us remember this moral algorithm and use it to craft a future that prioritizes protection, safety, prosperity, and happiness for all.